Thank you. So my concern is across board, and I would like to begin by saying that basic education, that is ECD, is the basic foundation for any scholarly pursuit, and therefore we need to give it the necessary attention that it requires. I want us to look at food, the supply of food. Majorly we do porridge and some other small items. Senator Wafula, kindly protect me from Senator Wafula. He's busy smiling at me. He will deviate me from what I would want to present.
People miss smiles.
So I wanted to say this, that we need to enhance the school feeding programs for retention. While I was growing up, we used to take the Moi milk, and it really kept us in school. So we need to enhance the retention of the school feeding programs, especially in food insecure counties that we have. And we also need to have a sustainable model of maybe retaining whatever incentives that we are giving to retain our students in school, our learners in school. Then we also need to diversify schooling options, especially in pastoralist areas, so that we can also have maybe evening classes, because some of these learners cannot be kept in school or cannot be found in the morning or afternoons. Then there is this issue on security. Nobody has talked about it, and I think it is a concern, because you find that most of the learners are abducted along the way while they are going to school, and therefore we need to encourage the department concerned that let us conceptualize the laws and enforce the laws, especially the Children Act 2022, Basic Education Act, the TVET Act, and the Universities Act. And finally, let's look at the absorption strategy. We are churning out a lot of graduates, but they are going nowhere. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Session Chair. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Mine is just an inquiry. Where are we as a country towards achieving free primary education and free secondary education? Because, Chair, let me just break it down for you. The recipe, or what you require to be a learned person, you need a teacher, you need the materials, which is the books, you need a classroom, and you need the pupil or the learner. Now, the learners are there for free. The classes are there because maybe they are built by CDF or they are being built by CDF. The teachers are already there. They are being paid by government. So the only cost that we have is probably textbooks or books. Why can't the government just do what they used to do before by printing these books for the students or providing it in PDF format? Because the government owns the curriculum, the government owns the syllabus, so the government can have already PDF books for the students, so that we don't use the money that the public coffers give to buy books from the private publisher. I believe if the country can print ballot papers for everybody in this country, I believe they can print books for the students. I mean, why can't we just go towards that direction of realizing that this education is supposed to be free, and the only costly thing is the books, which now with digital kind of technology, you can give a PDF and a parent can go and print a book wherever they want.
Thank you, Madam Professor. My question is to you, Honorable PS. To balance out the disparity in the teacher-to-student ratio, can we get a precise and clear reason as to why the JSS and interns have not been confirmed countrywide, and what exactly is the delay? Because these young people are going through a lot of frustration, yet they want to serve our country. Thank you.
time in. Wow. Get
Madam Chair, that's the one. So which one is the accurate figure? Is it the one the officers are submitting or the one from? Because I thought the one from NEMIS is tied to a birth certificate, at least to give some accuracy. The one from the officers can be just a list of, and you're not used to working team.
of us. One is that in the 1 minute, I want to confirm to the Senator's House there is an existing service which was done way back by the Council of Governors in consultation with the CRC. That is what we are currently implementing. Number two, on the school feeding program, we are working on a policy, my committee and the Committee of Health, to come up with a standardized feeding policy that guides the feeding of our children across the counties. On feed disease and defects, I agree, Professor Kamar, on your sentiments. Ideally, feed disease are supposed to provide craft courses, which goes for a period of around 6 months, and it should be done, so that the defects handle the higher specialized levels. But as it is today, county feed disease and defects are struggling to offer the same courses, and we would wish maybe the PSS to move forward. We work on a policy and a more clear formula on who should be admitted to the feed disease and who should go to the defects. Because you have a county feed disease here, and then less than a kilometer away, you have a national defect institution. But ironically, all these children belongs to Kenya. And it defeats logic then why the government is educating, or rather giving out loans to students on TVET, but vice versa, the FTC are not receiving any of that support. And maybe going to the future, perhaps that will be looked into. And because I want to get back to this, Mike, I would want to say as a general observation that yes, I know we have challenges as counties, and I commit to this House and we commit as governors that we will work hard to ensure that we focus on our mandate, which is the FTCs and ECDs. And lastly, distinguished senators and the peers, looking into the scope within our universities today, Professor Kamar will agree with me that one of the challenges we have even within our universities are arbitrary causes that the University Senate approves to create numbers in the universities. My proposal going to the future is that we go back to what it was before. When you could talk about University of Nairobi, it was known that this is what University of Nairobi is offering. Kenyatta University was known for the arts. Egerton University was known for this. But you'll find a university which was created for technology or for agriculture offering nothing completely even to do with that agriculture because of competition for numbers. And as it is today, the lecturers are even struggling. I am one of them. Before I joined politics, we used to moonlight and part-time. And I would confess, Professor Kamar, that we have universities to date that even lecturers are going on half salary because they cannot afford to pay them salaries. And we have universities which completely, for a period of 1 year or so, they're not being able to pay their lecturers completely. And out of this, then it compromise on the quality of learning towards the same, and maybe in the future, we strengthen University Senate to be able to generate their own resources because government cannot fund fully, but we challenge also the University Senate to be able to be more creative and generate more resources. Asante sana.
Yes. Session. A few we have programs. Also, involved has been the county government. So looking at those had where we have so many schools in there. Yes. Maybe even as she took the government to think a little bit, what is food for the children a devolved function or it is not? Think about it because it is right in states, food, and so you need to that if function that doesn't belong. We have been thinking maybe as we are pushing one government as if I as feed that was yeah of the I'll give you last
Thank you, Prof. It's just one item on a regulation that payment of royalties. Thank you for being up. I want to register our committee up on that. Government we will not only be pushing or following this executive, but we commit to ensure the executive government engages orderly. Thank you for
Thank you. Finally, PS.
Thank you very much. On question by our Fuller. Happy to inform this. We are almost of course quite digital. When we start 1.5 after placement, no children. Of course, 20 former national, 100. One school attracting all. But overall, we have been able to most of this. First place, we were able to say because of first choice, twice. First time, we opened an opportunity. First revision, 1,000. Processed, 1,000. Of them, 1,001. We again opened after 200,000. Out 100. Second question, capitation. Government does capitation all the money budgeted capitation, and if you get to one reason, then that so there's no debt. There's no debt. What we are doing for that capitation is good before school open every time. Of students, the amount of is any school. Senator Oyoma asked me about yes. Right now, to the chair. Every day, who want to open how to open our job every day for our quality assurance. We are very clear. For those lands who are transitioning, we are saying 51 of them, 30% of them doing 10%. Our Kwabubi asked about program. We believe feeding program integral part of it. So right now, billion primary. Don't do again. Together with feeding program more and more of our land. Pained. The Dagwa have a comment. Why do we PDF? Now we have a rolling out 25,000 jobs in school to where we are heading. We want to ensure that leverage on books, one teacher. Senator Zena asked about we have a program where President, I think January this year, prior to we have also taken fund. We are taking them through internship for 2 years. We automatically confirm program ongoing because of budgetary constraints. We are staggering. Senate Chair, about private universities, I here would answer why they are paying policy. Whether line between what overlaps.
Thank you, members, and an applause for this. That really very much. May I therefore invite the next chair of the session, Senator Catherine Muma.
Good evening, everyone. Sincere apologies to this particular panel. It is quite late. We have Chair of Council of Governors, Chair of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee of Senate, both of them Muslims. So this is a tall order having this session at this time. I'd like to invite all of them to come. We will try to move fast. I'd like to invite Senator Mohammed Abbas, Chairperson of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. Please come up onto the stage. The Chairperson, Council of Governors, Honorable Ahmed Abdullahi, please come up. Mr. Michael Denasalon, Principal Secretary, State Department for Devolution, please come up. And then we have I think the Vice Chair for IGRTC coming up. We have Honorable Seth Kamansa, Chairperson, County Assemblies. Please come up. I'd like to ask colleagues to settle down. Let us give 100% support to this panel so that we can actually go through this quickly. To the panel, karibuni sana, and allow me to skip your bio. I know you are big men and women. I will not say so, because I want us to move on. I will also not recite the good things that each of your officers have done. I will go straight to the questions so that we are able to move on this issue. To begin, as an introduction, the Fourth Senate has done a lot of things through the different committees and in the plenary to ensure that devolution works. A number of the things that I have done is to pass laws to strengthen devolved governance, is to carry out inquiries to find out a number of issues raised by Wananchi, is to try and engage with the stakeholders, including yourselves, IGRTC, the State Department, to try and see how we can strengthen intergovernmental relations, to also engage with county actors, county assemblies, to see how to strengthen oversight and devolution at the county level. Some of the things we have done is inquire why we have stalling in some of the things that would implement devolution. For example, the Senate has gone round to try and investigate the amounts of stalled projects in counties. Even as we are complaining we don't have funds, we have habits where the governor who comes after the one who was there decides to start afresh, and billions are actually being wasted in stalled accounts. So this is a conversation to try and help us to see what can we do better in order to strengthen devolution. So my first question will go to the Chairperson of Council of Governors. Your Excellency, in December of 2024, the summit resolved that all functions of counties be unbundled and transferred to counties. The IGRTC was given a job, and this job was expressed in a Gazette notice when IGRTC issued a Gazette notice indicating the functions that were being implemented by national government actors in terms of parastatals, and that Gazette notice seems to have turned out to be what the Chief Justice might call hot air, because those functions are yet to be transferred and funds following those functions are yet to happen. What is the Council of Governors doing as a matter of follow-up on this very important issue within the summit? And this is an important question because the Council of Governors is always complaining that you don't have enough funds. Those funds are held up at the national government in implementing some of those functions. What is your view on that?
Thank you. Struggling with my voice. Audible. Process time statement attached on much money. We houses of more amateur market always register based after goes to the Senate, the position. After Senate, you know the process. Until it ends up in a decision. I was just listening in the last session saying that an increase in killings in 3 years, 400 billion. So his own words, 700 billion shillings. County government, same period, gotten at 5 billion shillings. Higher port will share 380. When we came into the term, 400 last term. It's a game of resources. One minister gets 300 billion increase. In devolved function. Hold budget committee. Urgently, gettingly, the hope that does in terms of a share can appear before the national only what Senate was
Chair COG, is it your view that the function or the role of IBEC and the summit are completely redundant? Because that is the space where, as Council of Governors, you should be able to demonstrate that the function being carried out by Ministry X is actually our function. We're already doing it. So to begin anywhere, the funds in this particular parastatal plus this other consolidated, that would be a common sense fast way of actually transferring those funds. So it cannot be, Senate does not sit in IBEC. Neither do we sit in the summit. That is the space where you have opportunity to actually have that intergovernmental conversation one-to-one as governments at both levels.
The deeper structure. Treasury itself holding resources shared between account of constitution. That's where the market, why counties can assembly with them. said, payback just family with their position, governor, them, CRA, closer, Washington. This want but there's always again of the day here process. Also realize all question functional integrity, boundaries does what. Court has now said CF is government parastatals engaged in involved a lot more. In fact, have more budget to do waterworks, water. Democracy, have work in a that is the
Your Excellency, a final one before I move to the State Department. Now let's talk about accountability for what you receive. Following what you've just said, where do you get the money to give to bursaries? It's not your function. Secondly, the development record from our audits, both audits of Auditor General, Control of Budget, and what our committees have seen in terms of audits of the different functions, whether it is health, is that you barely get to 30% of development. In fact, many counties are way below. So how do we speak about accountability on the little that you have?
Yeah, let me. As I said, the whole question of functional, everyone is doing. Also, this top manner that we all be true, to argument for counties bursaries one over one welfare question. Counties also buy food for starving. Ideally, everyone should be able to. So when have kids, our counties who are falling off because they pay oral welfare in. There is currency that's gaining currency in also now because of how we have fought, especially by the control of budget, about this. Get the same control, top national government from water goals in a whole thing of going now. More of a welfare question. About matters county line oversight. Yes, Senate confirmed by court, ability of oversight as governors,
So this, not as chair here, every single governor with respect to audit report. All I can talk about, rather I don't want to get, then the whole question of conduct matter, live. But as to what is the county's audit report, that's the way, what is report matter.
Now, not for you to answer, but Kenyans would want to know, Council of Governors complaining they don't have enough money. Hardly, when you look at their budget, is far less than budget towards the bursaries. When they look at bursaries, we have NGCDF, we have NGAF, we have capitation, we have HELB, we have Equity Fly, what is it called? Wings to Fly, we have KBC, we have the World Bank loan. So then Kenyans wonder, should they really be going for this? Of all the functions, is this the one they should go to? I just leave that with you. Now, move on to the...
No, I'm sure before you go on that, just also word on that. As that happens, governor is in office and kids able to go to school. I think that is more of a model. But with respect to his very well prosecuted of education, that was bundled, posted. That port that we killing of his then should be, wasn't there not a government for development? Wasn't it? How come there was no single East payroll of national? Many places, secondary school were being paid parents study under trees. As we speak today, have over 50,104 primary school on the payroll county government. Yet, that port of the fact. Then also
for
5,000 classrooms. In light of the challenges, Kenya yet hosted PS was here saying we don't have healing out of what
we will now move on to the Principal Secretary. Now, the State Department for Devolution, in the thinking of the committee, devolution, is the department that should actually be strengthening intergovernmental relations. Over the 13 years, the devolution has been implemented as if there is a competition between national government and county governments. And that competition manifests in sometimes what the governor is talking about, funds that are required to go counties have not gone. Sometimes at the national level, the National Assembly disagrees with a particular function going to counties. So we have passed, as Parliament, some laws that have been challenged and found to be unconstitutional because they have not aligned to devolution. And my view is the State Department exist precisely to try and help to heal that relationship and to strengthen it. I believe it is the State Department of Devolution that should be helping the Senate and the country to be able to have a conversation with the Ministry of Water, Ministry of Roads, to actually tell them Kura is actually carrying out functions that are elsewhere, because you are the ones at the cabinet level. What is the State Department doing to strengthen devolution so that as we move forward, we all recognize that the citizen is the same for government, for county government, and we need to work in a collaborative, cooperative manner to deliver services to the people of Kenya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and the Session Chair and Honorable Senators, for this opportunity to interact on the platform. Department. Roles of the policy director, policy, was no reverence. Effective. Then on things we are but have been have been functioning also public for example one without them formal, they should be formal, have a regular forums to address of common interest between national government and county government so that they can unlock the gaps that are challenges, even escalate to other intergovernmental structures like IBEC and Summit. So we are trying at a State Department, also we are building capacity with the program that we have, Kenya Devolution Support Program. we have supported transport functions, and can just list the position on the transfer of asset transfer. The movable assets are already valued and transferred, all of them. Movable assets, land and buildings, with support of the technical committee, are already valued in 30 counties. So we are requesting for resources to value and transfer immovable assets for 17 counties. For 6,800 parcels of land and 8,200 existing housing units, but also in 2025. So we have a program, support program that is supporting us to do this, to support counties. We have also developed the on-source revenue mapping guidelines, counties, on-source revenue streams mapping guidelines, because most counties don't know actually their capacity and where they can get their revenue. So we are supporting them on that. On-source revenue enhancement plan, on-source revenue forecasting tools, because a governor can come and say, the county government have been collecting maybe 200 million. So it should be predictable that amount cannot change. You know, it should be at arm's length. So we are supporting counties to ensure that even in transition, that amount cannot be mutilated. And also revenue automation through the Commission Revenue Allocation and many other things that with supporting the county government. Also on human resource strengthening, we supported counties to undertake payroll audits. Now we have an independent payroll audit that we funded through the program, and the Auditor General conducted it. We have the reports, we have the recommendations, we took them to IBEC, and now they have been referred to the sector forum, so that if the governors can agree on the ministry on the recommendations that we have given, the Auditor General have given, then they can actually solve some. If not, then they can escalate to other structures of. Those are some of the.
Now, one more question: who is your minister for purposes of cabinet? Are you under the deputy president, or are you under the prime cabinet secretary? Now, I ask this because the other day we had the signing of Nairobi County agreement for collaboration and cooperation in service delivery. And reading through that agreement, which our committee has looked at, you are the secretary to the committee, but the minister who was leading this was prime cabinet secretary. So where is the State Department under prime cabinet secretary or deputy president?
As per the executive order, the most recent one, we're under the office of the deputy president and as an office. So when I came in, because I'm not even 1 year old in the office, and I'm an investigator. So I try to write letters, have evidence that I need my sub memos. So it's not, and we're with I've been given some solution that the AG table my sub memo.
To the cabinet? To
the cabinet.
So it is the AG who tables the State Department for devolution?
Yes, for the time being, and I have, it's a temporary solution.
ML, I hope you are hearing this.
Yes.
So now, this is a very important department in terms of helping to strengthen devolution. I hope there can be clarity around that. Now, can I move to...
On the pact, the Intergovernmental Relations Act defines the cabinet secretary for intergovernmental, the minister for intergovernmental relations. So it says that the cabinet secretary or the minister is the one for the time being.
Yes, yeah. Who is the minister for the time being in charge of devolved? Yes,
so
who is that?
PCS can also be for the time being. In this arrangement of Nairobi.
So for the time being, sometimes it's the PCS and sometimes it's the Attorney General. Now, IGRTC Vice Chair, we have had quite a number of meetings put you in the spot. Is there going to be any light on this issue of the transfer of functions? Number one. Number two, we have more than 100 pieces of legislation that pre-exist 2010 Constitution. The IGRTC has identified 94. We are the legislators. There are those of us who think the national government needs to find the resource to work with the Senate, State Department, and IGRTC to deliver that, because it's not happening. It's been, since CIC exited in 2015, those laws have not been revised. What is IGRTC doing around this very important issue?
Thank you very much. I'm Sadia Abdi, the Vice Chair of Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee. Session Chair, IGRTC has done its fair bit. We were under the directive of the President to delineate and bundle and delineate all the functions, devolved functions. We did our bit. 2023, we did a Gazette notice, it was recalled. 2024, we embarked again on that exercise. We did and concluded, and we did a Gazette notice again in 2024 December. After the Gazette notice, our role was to bring the sectors together and identify the resources that belong to the devolved functions. We came up with a multi-agency technical team which identified the resources. We came up with a figure and shared a report to CRA, COG, for a national treasury, so that now budget rationalization and alignment can start from those departments, particularly national treasury. We are looking forward for this to be concluded this year, June 2026. Of course, we had contentious issues on matters of functions, water, fisheries, and sports. There were 4. We have also concluded on that through multi-sectoral approach, where we built consensus on all the issues relating to those contentious issues. We have prepared a Gazette notice. We have handed over to the AG's office. We are waiting it to be published. So far, that's what IGRTC has done. We are following up on National Treasury on matters of now on budget. And I think we are almost at the tail end. Hopefully by June 2026, we will have concluded this matter. Of course, we are not without challenges. We have challenges. As much as we have devolved the functions, we have also unbundled and delineated these functions. Still, national governments are still holding on to some of the functions and other resources. One of the reasons why we feel that why we were able to identify all the 94 pieces of legislative is those are the laws that are a clawback to devolution. Some of these state corporations were established by Act of Parliament. They need to be repealed. We need to look at all those acts that establish those State Department of State parastatals, for that matter. Because there are laws that are still giving powers, authority to entities, national government entities, and yet they are affecting or performing functions of counties. This needs to be relooked at. That's why we identify the 94. We have shared with Senate, we have shared with also Parliament. We are following up to see whether that can be fast-tracked and concluded. Our plea to Senate and National Parliament is to support and conclude the omnibus bill so that, for once, there is law that also speaks strongly to matters touching on devolution, as much as Constitution supersedes all these other acts. But that has not been the practice again. The law supersedes, yes, but we have been riding on the acts. That's why we have identified all these laws, and now we have shared with Parliament, we have shared with Senate. We are looking forward to your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chair, County Assemblies Forum. Now, the county assemblies are the primary entity that does the primary oversight of our county governments. But the Senate, through petitions from Wananchi, and sometimes through anonymous calls from county assemblies members, has been forced to actually go to the ground to do some oversight work which county assemblies feel that they cannot do. If I raise this issue in the county assembly, I will be removed from a committee. If I raise this thing, I will not be given a foreign trip. And the senators will tell you that they have received a lot of petitions through county assembly members on issues that have gone wrong, but where they can't raise it because they feel they'll be targeted by the governors. What is it that can be done by the County Assembly Forum to assure the Kenyans that it was a good idea to have county assemblies and that county assemblies can truly do their job of oversighting the county executives?
Thank you, Sessional Chair. My name is Seth Mwatela Kamanza, being the Speaker of Kwale County and also the Chair for County Assemblies Forum. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for the recognition and the invite by the Senate for us to be in attendance. I want to say that the county's assemblies have been having a lot of challenges. In fact, last year, most of the assemblies lacked resources. Even some of the members even going to the field to do oversight. And this has been occasioned by the disbursement to some of the assemblies. That's number one. Number two, as the primary oversight body, most of the assemblies have been affected by many staff leaving the county assemblies because there has been a stagnation of job cadres, meaning that we as assemblies lack the prerequisite professional manpower to ensure that we get the adequate reports and position as required by the law. Therefore, with this, we have really challenged CRA to look into the Commission for Revenue Allocation to give us an opportunity so that as they do the overall budget, they look into some of the aspects. For example, I know of county assemblies that actually don't have vehicles to go or facilitate members to go to field. Number two, you find that the members, some of the members are lacking. For example, like right now, we are in our third year. The only budget that is provided for training is only in the first year. The second and third and fourth, there are no training budgets for the members. Therefore, with that, we actually urge all the stakeholders to actually assist the assemblies to ensure that we push these factors into the system so that our assemblies can be effective and efficient. Another point is that most of the assemblies, when you look at them, politics, the party politics are actually also affecting, and I know the Secretary General of different parties might sit here, but sometimes you find that a certain position is given by certain party for members to have a toe on the line or even be removed in certain political. Therefore, there have been a lot of challenges, but as CAF, we are trying to ensure that the autonomy of assemblies is maintained, and we are coming up with policies that are pushed across the assemblies to ensure that the primary basic role is achieved. Also, we urge you as Senate, as our bigger brother, that at times you find that a committee would come to county without even the primary committee knowing that a certain committee has gone to do a certain oversight, and yet that committee might be having a full report, which at times we have tried through our implementation committee to ensure that most of the resolution by the assemblies are implemented. Therefore, as our bigger brother, we are telling you that sometimes it would be only fair for you to take our hands and take our reports from the primary source to ensure that you implement them, and that way you will ensure that, and you will make most of the assemblies more powerful. Thank you.
Chair Devolution Committee of the Senate, Senator Abbas, who is my chair on that committee. During the 3 years, you have led us to do a number of things across board, whether it is through legislation, oversight, checking stalled projects, intergovernmental relations, implementation of urban areas and cities. What is your plan during this 5th session on what you want the committee to focus on during this time?
Thank you. Yeah. I think, as you're aware, Article 96 actually regards mission, and the Senate represents and protects the interests of the counties and the governors. Article 217 mandates the Senate to determine the basis of allocation of revenue. With all this, we have found, as you know, in the previous interactions and the committee work, we have found also many challenges actually that may affect this process. One of them is the transfer of default functions. As aware, Article 186 and 87 assigns the transfer of functions in one of the most persistent weaknesses that we have found in the petition of devolution. The state departments or statutes still perform functions of devolutions. And on 16 December 2024, IGRC actually completed a delineation of the four functions of many parastatals, about 42 of them. Some of them were supposed to be dissolved, some were supposed to be merged, and as a result, the IGRC also has discovered, given a costing of 65.9 billion to operationalize the transfer. Today, the functions are still being performed by the parastatals, and the Treasury or executive is still giving money to the same parastatals. In January 2025, there was a cabinet approval to wind up and streamline the state corporations, strengthening the governance, accountability, and operational efficiency. Of this, there was supposed to be a merger of 42 state corporations, 20 entities, to 20 entities to improve efficiency. And there were 25 state corporations. They are marked for dissolution and their functions transferred to the relevant bodies. Up to now, and this, after having a look at the budget plan for 2026, 25, 26, those same corporations have been given money. They have been, at least they have submitted their requirements, their budget plans to the National Assembly. One other problem we have found that the committee is that the challenge in financial management of the counties, especially in low expenditures on development. All in the findings, the county budget, what do you call the BVR, the committee encourages the low expenditures on development and found that many counties expenditures for projects are very low. And as well, we had a sitting with almost all the affected counties and found out they are below the 30% that they are supposed to allocate to the for development. And actually, as a result of that, there is high wage bills that affect the money allocated to development. The committee actually now is following up the issue that we want to now tell the COB to at least have a control of the budget that been allocated for development should be used only for development. What happens in most instances, is that the money given for development, at times the governors come with supplementaries and reallocate the same money when it's approved by the assemblies. One other thing we have seen is this weakness of on-source resources revenue collections. They have found that most of the governors are comfortable with the equitable shares they get from the government, and they put little effort to increase the on-source. Therefore, I think the same money is now, the on-source is being used for budgeting. As a result of that, we have a lot of bending bills now. The county government is actually having huge bills, so especially development, and the on-source sources is supposed to be used for recurrence. And as a result of that, a lot of money is being used. So I think we have agreed that we also compel the counties that at least the on-source will be increased, so at least they can be able to meet this bill. Now, as we talk, the accumulation of bills is that 100 is amounted to 183 billion, of which 130 billion is for recurrent activities, and 52.2 billion is for development. See that, we expected to have more bending bills in development than have a recurrent bending bills. That's huge. So I think one other thing we have found that governors are not paying the bills. One, we have a bending bill for social reductions, pensions. Very unfortunate situation now. Pensioners are not able to access their pensions, just simply the money has not been remitted to respective institutions. And therefore, I think that will now repair. We put our head together as a Senate and the counties and the ZOB and the lab fund and the pension institutions, so at least we know how we can get away, we can be able to help the pensioners. One other thing I found is that there are so many installed projects that are completed. One county alone has 114 undone installed projects. And this has been carried forward by successive governors. And I think that itself is very, very wrong. And I think as a Senate, we have to come with a policy. I think we'll bring now an amendment to the bills. So because according to the PFM Act, we are all bending bills must be first charged for every new financial year. But this is not actually executed. It's actually contravened. As I said again, one thing we also found was that the institutional challenges affected policy coordination, especially the State Department of Devolution. This is actually where policies will have been moved, but they don't have a substantive minister. And you remember last time when we met the PS, they said he used the AG to take the issues to the cabinet, for the issues to be done with policy issues, all other things they require, legislative issues, is now to be done through the AGM, which is very unfortunate actually. I think The PS has not told us what he wants to do. Then I think if that has not been done, then this committee has to move a bit fast to assist the PS so that you can have a substantive ministry so that we can be able to affect all the policies that we need to move. Thank you very much. One other thing I found is that through the experience that we have got the other day through the Nairobi County case, there are no formal agreements or memorandums of understanding between the two levels of government. I think everything is done. One of them is like now that the county government is implementing the issues to do with the community health workers. I don't think there's any formal agreement, unfortunately. Yeah. So most of these things have been done ad hoc. I think we need to formalize these things.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the panelists. Devolution is a very huge topic, so we can only scratch the top. I'll now come to the plenary.
Before you finish, I think they also have done some amendment bills. We have amended some of the bills. Yes. The one for the, making the assemblies autonomous. The one for the governors. One other thing we have found was a challenge is the dispute between the governors, the deputy governors, the assemblies, and the governors. And the committee action has made many interventions, and we have successfully at least managed to reconcile 3 counties at that level. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Chair. No, Chair, just hold on. Let me give a chance to others, but just make your point. You'll make it when you have a chance. I see Senator Wakoli, followed by Senator Eddy. I see ML. I see Senator Manzo. Is that? Oh, so Senator sorry, my eyes are not, I don't see for that. Is Senator Wamatinga. Senator Mandago, did I pick? Anybody else? How was that? Can we start this way? ML, and then Wakoli, and then the others in that line. You'll remind me. Eddie, Beth, then Wamatinga. Let's go, and then we'll take the next round. Proceed, ML. Where is the roving mic?
Use the... Apologies. Chair, thanks, Session Chair. My question is to, if I got the name right, it's Fauzia from, or if I got it wrong, you'll tell me the right name. The madam from ITGRC. Apologies. Sadia, thank you. The chair, my good friend, the chair has helped me. This omnibus bill that you're talking about, the one that collapses quite a number of agencies and what you'll generally refer to as a clawback legislation that still exists. I don't know where it is, who you sent it to, because if you sent it to the assembly, then you sent a pack of meat with a hyena, hoping that it will reach home. So good luck on that attempt. But if you want it to succeed, organize to have it find its way to the Senate, and we can help you, because what you're proposing makes a lot of sense to me. There's still part of the reason why we're still struggling with too much resource remaining at the center is through those state agencies. A lot of them in water sector, for example, and so many others that need to be either disbanded or the funds be sent to counties and managed by 2, 3, 4, 5 counties in the regions that they serve. So I'd be pleased to help with that legislation if you can share. But just to inform you that it is not with us in the Senate. Thank you.
Senator Wakoli, please note, we will listen first.
Thank you, Chair. I want to ask the Chair of the Council of Governors of recent times, specifically Trans Nzoia. We have seen a governor close the offices of the Public Service Board, flush them out, and boldly, without blinking, say that they are hereby dismissed. You can imagine the president closing Public Service Commission in this country Will we have a country or we are in a banana state? Thank you, Chair.
Senator Eddy.
Chair, thank you. Quick question to also the lady from IGRTC. Chair, is there a way that you can have a personnel from this institution specifically to CPIC, the way we have got partners from EACC or sometimes also from AG's office and the National Treasury. And this is why I'm asking this is because when we look at the books of counties on all county investments, be it hospitals, be it municipalities, and more notoriously, water companies, the WSPs, there is a serious issue that is always showing up on the balance sheets of long-standing issue of transferring assets to these county institutions. And the biggest problem is that people even use, those assets to take loans on behalf of these county investments, and then it is committed to counties. Then it becomes a very big problem. So the only way you can deal with them in CPIC is to deal with them on a case-by-case basis, and I think it's essential that one of their personnel should sit in CPIC so that you can be able to deal with these issues. Lastly, Chair, to the Council of Governors, what is the problem of giving municipalities and cities autonomy? Because we end up having a situation whereby money is allocated to these municipalities, there is no autonomy in terms of financial discipline, and it's just difficult to clean up the fiduciary responsibilities in the municipalities that can ensure proper service delivery. What is this problem with just ensuring that these municipalities are independent?
Senator Beth.
Thank you, Session Chair. Actually, part of my question, Senator Eddy has raised it. It's because it has been coming up in CPIC committee on transfer of assets from the national government to county governments. And I wanted to ask the chair of COG, why as governors cannot sit and follow up that issue and it is dealt with once and for all. Finally, Chair, I wanted to say, okay, popularly we have been saying resources follow functions. And we know there are functions that have stuck with the national government and they are not yet devolved. Yet the governors are expected to deal on those areas. What is COG doing in terms of ensuring that the devolved functions then are followed by resources? Thank you.
Senator Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Session Chair. My question, though, partly touched on by Senator of Migoli. My question goes to the chair of COG. We have spoken about unbundling of functions, and it is not lost to us that in the diversity of this country, some counties might not be able to attract top brains to work there. What is the Council of Governors doing to ensure that even in such counties like Wajir, Madera, Turkana, they are able to attract the top brains to work in those functions that may need to be devolved, so that we do not have a situation where we have issues of mismanagement because of competence. Thank you.
I'll take one more round and then they will answer and we will close. Anybody? Senator Mandago. Anybody else? Senator AC, Senator Beatrice. Those three.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. First to the Chair of COG. Under the Kenya Urban Support Program, quite a number of counties did not meet the requirements of World Bank in order to get the necessary resources for their counties. So how is the Council of Governors asking us to increase the allocation when some of your members are not also consummately working to meet the requirements of World Bank, so they can access those resources that are dedicated specifically for development projects. Number two, to the chair of County Assemblies Forum. County Assemblies are the primary oversight bodies. And I've heard you say sometimes committees make trips they are not aware. I'm the chair of the Senate Health Committee. And I can tell you, more than 5 counties we have visited. We write letters to the Speaker. We've made it a policy that our first point of call when we visit a county is actually the office of the Speaker, not the Governor. And after that, meet the Committee for Health. But in 5 counties, the MCAs ran away because they don't want to be seen by the Governor with the Committee of Senate. What do you make of that? And how do you expect us as a Senate to work with you as a sister institution to make sure there is oversight? And finally, how does some of your county assemblies allow the county executives procure and spend without a budget, then later want to regularize with a supplementary, or allow funds that have been requisitioned for specific service providers, contractors and service providers who have already done the work, their documents have been used to requisition funds from the control of budget. That is what the control of budget has approved, but the firms that are being paid are not the ones whose documents were used to requisition documents. And that is why we have huge pending bills now in the county. And how comes the county assemblies are allowing the chief officers of finance to unilaterally do violence of votes without even involving their counterpart chief officers of the relevant departments in their counties?
Senator Essie.
Thank you. My question is to the CAF chair. I would just want to understand how the granting of financial autonomy to county assemblies has contributed to them improving on their oversight, representation. Is there any other role the Senate has to play? Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Oyomo.
Thank you, Session Chair. Mine is not a question, but mine is just a foresight. Governor, the chair of COG. My comment is on the future proposed oil exploration in this country. And I'm thinking that planning is good, and failing to plan is planning to fail. Governor, with your urban committee of the COG, I just wanted to share that the counties along that corridor, especially Turkana, especially Shingishu, Eldoret is going to be an urban node, a key one. Governor, imagine 600 trucks on a road towards one city like Eldoret on a day to Mombasa and from. I was just thinking that the counties need to be brought to some level where they are planning with what is proposed to be. It will help the counties in terms of even increasing their revenues if their planning departments are able to do zoning, to work on parking space, to work on how to ease congestion in those places, put environmental measures, put their health facilities in place, Governor, because if you're going to have 600 trucks plus the urban, the movement of that is going to go to those towns, if the counties do not foresee and plan, I think it's going to be a disaster for them. I just thought, Session Chair, that I bring this so that the urban sector of the COG is able to fast track a number of things with those counties.
Thank you. And one more for COG Chair. The inter-county or intergovernmental, the regional blocks still operational, because that's the forum within which you actually plan economic development that is cross-border. So we will now respond. Use only 2 minutes to say everything you have to say, including your final comments. So we'll go with CAF first, IGRTC, State Department, Council of Governors, and Senate.
Thank you, Chair. I want to start with a question by the Honorable Senator AC on the financial autonomy. I want to report it to this House that up to now, there is no county that has, no county assembly that has fully implemented this. And on these following reasons, there was a circular from the Treasury that needed the CEC Finance to do an introductory letter of the person who is going to be an accounting officer from the assembly. Therefore, most of the assemblies have faced frustration from the county executive, apart from a few that have gotten to that point of introductory, which is Mombasa, Laikipia, Machakos, Meru, Bomet, and Nairobi. The other counties that the other county assemblies that are scheduled to initiate the process is Wajir and Narok. All others, 38 of them, are still in the process of getting the introductory letters. Therefore, this aspect of the financial autonomy, up to today, there is no county assembly reporting to this House because you did a good job by ensuring that the assemblies are getting their own financial autonomy. But the process of getting to that is or we've been having a bit of hurdles, which we are still trying to ensure that the 38 come on board. Then I go to the pointers by the Honorable Senator Mandago that some MCAs ran away. I want to say that this is so unfortunate because I don't want to put a blanket to all the assemblies that I remember you came to my assembly with your committee and we fully handled all the matters that you brought to our table, and we were non-partisan, and I want to agree that to an extent there are some counties or county assemblies that probably the MCAs wouldn't want to be seen in a bad light. And this is the subject of discussion that you as Senate, we need to have so that you strengthen the assemblies, because you find that there are some assemblies, for example, just getting the normal letter, it becomes a hurdle. What if the funds, and the funds are coming from a signature by the CEC member, finance? Therefore, it hinders effective oversight from the assemblies. Therefore, this is a work in progress, and it is for all the stakeholders to ensure that we put the right parameters and policies so that to ensure that we get the full autonomy of the assemblies. Also, from
your 2 minutes are nearly up, so
okay, thank you. Guided Chair. Also, the assembly that they procure then regularize. I think this is unfortunate, but as per most counties right now, the budget cycle is followed as per the law, and we are trying. Most of the counties we found the amounts were there, the pending bills, and most of the counties right now are actually struggling to pay the pending bills that we found in this third assembly. Therefore, we are ensuring that we are going to work on to that aspect so that we get into the green light. But I can assure you, the pending bill from 2022 to right now 2025, 2026, they have really gone down in most counties. Therefore, it is also an aspect
The
that
point being made is government exists in perpetuity. Even the bill of 2015 needs
yes.
to be paid.
With those remarks, I just want to put my last remarks, and I want to say to this Senate that we really thank you for two major bills that you've really assisted. First, it's the intergovernmental bill which you passed. Also, the autonomy of financial autonomy of the county assembly. We want to say thank you. But however, we still have a challenge with the intergovernmental bill which went to the national parliament, and it has been viewed as a money bill. We hope that you and the National Assembly can get a reconciliatory effect so that we come out of it, because we are suffering in some aspect. Therefore, for that reason, I want to say thank you to the Senate leadership, Senate Speaker, for inviting the County Assemblies Forum for this session. Asanteni.
Thank you. IGRTC, I think you please do it within 2 or less.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mine was on the omnibus and the legislative gaps. The majority leader stepped out, but I want to confirm that the first letter was sent on 1st July 2025, and the omnibus was sent on 24th of February 2026. However, Honorable, the first letter was sent on 1st July 2025 on the legislative gaps. Second letter was sent on 24th of February. That was on the omnibus bill, but I commit to follow up again.
No, you sent to who? To the Attorney General?
To Senate. We shared with Senate, we also shared with National Assembly.
Oh.
We are going to confirm later. I think we don't have to really talk about it much, but that's the feedback I'm getting from my officer. Allow me to say this also, that the law allows IGRTC to resolve disputes through alternative dispute resolution. However, the dispute that we have resolved as IGRTC is between the two levels of government. There is a gap which we need to address as Senate, as also defenders of devolution. Where do we place intra-governmental disputes? Disputes between executives and the legislative, the counties, within the counties, which again hamper service delivery. They spill over to impeachment and also to Senate. So it's an assignment for all of us. We need to look at that, because there is no law that has given any entity the mandate to resolve those disputes. Yet they are a hindrance to devolution. Thank you.
The department? What was your question?
My question on asset transfers. It was not answered.
Okay.
But I feel like it's the biggest problem.
I can answer that. On assets, IGRTC had done identified, validated, and also handed over the assets to counties, the motor vehicles, lands, houses. We have also gazetted. As we speak, next week, IGRTC team is going to 11 counties to reconcile what is in the gazette notice and what is on the ground. And they have also been guided on what to do with those assets. Those assets that they feel they can be disposed, they have been guided on that. We have a register, we have a gazette notice. Where we have disputes, we have also registered the disputes. And the team is going to 11 counties next week, Monday to Friday. I'll be in Wajir County, to reconcile what we have gazetted, published, and what is on the ground. Thank you.
Okay, State Department.
On the identified resources, they mapped 65 billion transferred to counties, the resources of various. I think it's not. It's in the BPS the required budget, but the allocation now is discussed.
So you're saying there is 65 billion in the BPS identified to be transferred to counties to follow the functions? Which functions after the Gazette? Is there winding up of those parastatals? Because what we have been told is that the current budget is contemplating giving money to the very parastatals that were supposed to be wound up.
That is it.
Okay.
And also on the emerging challenges of you talked about county public service board. Also emerging issue of emerging issue. Our previous policy on the government not envisaged the emerging issues. Now with the new policy was just in place. We have put guidelines to address this.
Chair, I think you can do it when you speak.
Chair, one thing we found is that even those institutions that have been abandoned to counties, the resources have not followed. The remaining resources have not having all the salaries. Another thing I've seen is still IGRC first chair that it will not be fair when you're talking about assets. All the then
Okay, now before COG, Senator Wakoli, quickly, what is the burning question?
Because he's appearing for the last time in this session and thereafter leave, I want to ask what my speaker asked. Do you still maintain that you will not, the governors through the Council of Governors will not appear to committees?
COG Chair, now you can respond, including to the last question.
Yeah, my questions are a lot more, so you'll allow me a bit more time. I'll try to be fast. Now, on the issue of county assemblies and financial autonomy, what the speaker is saying is news to me, because there is no way counties can actually deny assemblies their money. In fact, Chair, it might interest you to know that they also even force us to give them ward development fund over and above and budget. And on average, they get 10% of the budget. 10% of the budget in any county goes to the assembly. And many a times, they also force us to fund even their trips to go and do and budget visits and everything. So whatever he's saying here is not factual. I want to leave that there. And on the issue of Senator Eddie raised the issue of I don't know who is it, raised the issue of asset transfers. I think this should be very simple. If all the assets that relate to the functions that are devolved to the counties, and give all the assets relating to non-devolved functions. In my county, my sister is coming to solve a dispute because they gave them 60% of my assets to national government. This shouldn't be the case. On, I think that was also raised by Ed. On the issues to do with development percentage and everything that has been raised. And also, I didn't quite hear the PS, but he also talked about on-source revenue. And session chair, I think on this matter of division of revenue, because another senator also, I think Senator Esther, asked, what are we doing to ensure that, resources follow functions? I have said, and I'll repeat it here, it's not in the purview of the council. The council cannot do nothing other than present its cases at forums to which it's invited and at forums to which it's a member of, such as IBEC, Summit, and when the committees invite us. And the situation is very dire. For instance, our sister here has acknowledged that there is 5 billion shillings relating to those functions that have been unbundled. But if you look at the budget statement, the budget policy statement, Treasury is suggesting an increase of 5 billion from 415 to 420. We have been having a fight with the Ministry of Health about absorption of UHC workers. And we've been telling them, if you want us to absorb these people on a permanent basis, increase equitable share first for that one item by 9 billion. Because that's the cost, 9 billion. And they've been saying, no, and just take some money this year, and then next year, we will convince Treasury. We have been resisted. Now we have been vindicated. Why? Because they're giving us 5 billion, which doesn't even cover the UHC. The circular from SRC for the third cycle salary review has increased county payroll by more than 5 billion shillings. It's not funded. We had issues to do with housing levy. We had issues to do with SHA, all of which were absorbed. Even this percentage that we talk of, the 30 to 70, what we call the 30-70, academic. There is no way we can meet those ratios if double share does not increase. This question of on-source revenue capability is not the same across all counties. And on-source revenue generation is not a factor in division of revenue. What is a factor is resources following functions. The only thing the law says about on-source revenue is to optimize. There, under KUSUP, Senator Mandego, to the best of my knowledge, there's no county that has been thrown out. A number of counties are struggling to meet the minimum condition with respect to the municipality boards. And I think, if I remember right, there were 14 in number. On matters oil and the corridor, I think those were recommendations from Senator Peris Tobiko. We take them as they are. On economic, what are they called? Economic blocks, there is no anchoring legislation. I think these are just forums that bring together people with similar problems so they can discuss their challenges. On why, I think because this one was also repeated a number of times, on why municipalities are not autonomous. Many of the counties, to the best of my knowledge, have given them the expenditure side. They are given grants to run their own operations. The question that has been a bit sticky is the one of them managing revenue, because counties also have revenue authorities. So it will be duplicating. And then in many counties, especially in the rural counties, a lot of the revenue, on-source revenue, is actually within the municipality. So if you allow that entire money to just be used within that municipality, it will actually be, having nothing. And these municipalities grew at the back of others also. We're having the same challenge with the major hospitals. Because of FIF law, they think that money is just theirs to do whatever they want, pave roads and whatever. So I think there's got to be a balance between prioritization and autonomy, so that these people also do not become law unto themselves. The question that was raised about the Public Service Board, I mean, that's just a question of someone not following the law. because the Public Service Board is protected in the same way as the Public Service Commission is protected. There is a procedure to follow, and I wouldn't do any bidding for any governor who doesn't follow the law also.
Thank you very much. As Governor,
on the last matter which he raised, I will be very polite on that. I think this is at the desk of the Speaker. We have raised what we have raised. We respect the Senate. We respect the Senate. And I will be the last person as chair of council to disrespect the Senate. But there are weighty issues that we have raised with respect to one committee and individual members of that committee. I await further guidance from the Speaker with respect to my latest correspondence. I just want to end it there.
Thank you very much. Just to... okay. The PSS is
Honorable Senator raised an issue on urban areas and cities. We don't have a regulation to the same that will ensure that there's a procedure for confinement of urban areas and or cities status, and the regulations are under drafting. They will soon be tabled before Senate for approval.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senators. Thank you for your patience. Can we clap for this panel? Thank you, panelists. We can't clear all these things in 2 hours. Now allow me, Honorable Senators, we have come to the end of our deliberations for today, and I wish to thank all of you and the distinguished guests